haven't watched it in a while, but every time I do, I tend to appreciate it more. I do have some photos to show you if you're interested.
Let's continue our conversation with Mimi Sarkisian.
I had more visitors to the set than any other individual in that production. Family and friends, I had more visitors. I don't know what was going on, but more visitors than anybody else. Everyone came and everyone was welcomed. It was really a very nice environment.
Oh, that's great. So they were able to watch you shoot?
I think maybe a little bit, but often they would visit with people after shoots, or if they were shooting a scene I wasn't in or something like that.
Were you able to attend the premiere? Or?
I did go to the opening in San Francisco. It was at the Regency Theater which is not there anymore, but it was a nice theater in San Francisco. And that was exciting. That was exciting because it was a big theater with lots of people, and to hear and see their response was exciting.
Thank yous must go to a magnificent cast and crew.
I'd just like to really thank the Academy for all your support, and to our really incredible cast and crew, who I think we all learned something about working ensemble.
Since you gave me the chance, I'm really happy to get an opportunity to thank Saul and Michael and Louise and Brad and Lawrence and Bo. Last but not least, my agent, who about 10 years ago advised me that I had no business being an actor. Thank you.
I wasn't in LA at the time of the Academy Awards. I was working on a show in San Francisco. So I was watching on a little tiny TV in the basement and running up to rehearse and running down to watch. I missed all the glamour of that moment. But wow, was it amazing to hear award after award after award going to those people who I felt really deserved it.
The winner is Milos Forman.
First, I thank the Academy for the company of the nominees they did put me in. And especially I want to thank all those whose names I don't have time to mention now. Thank you.
And all I can say is I've loved being hated by you.
Well, thank you for this to the members of the Academy. And I especially want to thank the producers.
I loved writing this movie, and it seems redundant to me to receive an award when the only award I ever wanted was a chance to write a script like this.
I wish I'd been in LA. That would have been a good day to be there.
Yes, well, I'm glad you were able to watch it, though. That must have been equally amazing to see.
It was
basically your friends and crew there on TV. How long did it take to shoot the film, would you say?
I think it was like 2.5 months, maybe 3 months with the boat. I think I was there 2.5 months.
Every day?
6 out of 7.
Wow.
Worked 6 out of 7, and they were long days. It was fascinating. I mean, there was not a dull moment.
After shooting, then you returned to theater.
I did. I didn't return to Cuckoo's Nest. I did some other things, and then I did move to LA, but by the time I moved to LA, it was after all the awards had happened, and I kind of missed my moment. You know what I mean? I missed the moment. So I stayed there about a year, and then I went home. I did a lot of stage managing after that.
Oh, great. What type of shows? Mostly
small musicals.
That's nice.
One play, but mostly small musicals around town.
Oh, great. And how long did you do that?
I don't know, about 10 years.
And now today you're still involved in theater, but a little bit differently, right?
Just with children.
Yeah. Well, that must be really fun and rewarding, though, I would imagine.
It is. I'm kind of nearing the end of that, though, because I'm close to retirement. But yes, it allowed me to be with my own children and still do something artistic. And so that's why I did it. Yeah, it was fun. Children are great because they're very willing to try to overcome their fears and try something. And it's really rewarding when a shy child succeeds, or the one that the whole school thinks is the bad boy who ends up being the star of the show. That's really rewarding to see that happen.
What part do you play in that? Are you a director or
everything?
Everything.
When you do a production with children, you do everything. You do everything. You know, you direct, you do lights, sound, costumes, whatever. Anything that needs to be done, you do.
That's great. And what age are the kids? You typically
elementary school age.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that must be a lot of fun for them.
Well, it's been fun for me too. It's a lot of fun. And it's great for the families. They sometimes see something in their children that they didn't even know was there, which is good.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. Yeah, the arts is so important for children to be able to have that creativity outlet. That's great.
And it's always the first thing to be cut. So
yes.
That's why someone like me would have to do everything, because there isn't a lot of funding for it. So you do the best you can, and but give them the experience. That's what they need.
Yes, definitely. Well, that's great. We need more people like you out there doing that.
Well, thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Ratchet. Good morning.
I do have some photos to show you if you're interested.
I would love to see some photos, part of your collection.
All righty. Let's look at this one. This was just a shot on the set. I don't know if you're able to see that at all.
I can.
Saul Zantz, the producer, in the middle, and then Louise on one side and me on the other. And that was just between takes one day. But I don't know if you can tell by the background, but that's a hospital ward right there. I mean, it's kind of dull and blank. And anyway, that's one shot. I like this one because apparently Saul had it in his office for a long time. And then shortly before he died, he sent it to me. And I really appreciated that. This one's great because this one is of Louise. And she, one morning, snuck into the ward and put on the whale shorts. The whale shorts Jack wears in one scene, and he wore them in a scene that we shot that was cut. But they're the whale shorts, and so she posed for this photo and gave the photo to many of us. I just thought that was such a glam shot of Nurse Ratched. You're not going to see glam shots of Nurse Ratched, but there you are.
No, not at all. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then this one, it's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see it, but I asked for a copy of this picture because after they did the basketball scene, they lined up like a team. And I just thought that was cute. That's all the guys.
Aww.
All the guys on the team.
Is that Danny on the bottom?
Yeah, probably.
That's great.
And the whole crowd, they're all there. Let me see what else I have.
Okay.
Oh, this is kind of a funny story. In the middle of the time we were there, somebody came and delivered a whole bunch of copies of the book because they had just changed it and put Jack's picture on the cover, and they had put our pictures inside. They gave copies to everyone, and everyone was running around asking people to sign their books. And I thought, well, that's kind of annoying. You know, I mean, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. These people are my friends. They don't have to sign my book. Well, now all these years later, it makes sense. I understand what they were doing. They were getting this wonderful souvenir of the experience. But yeah, that was funny to be in there. Whenever they put my picture in a publication that has individual shots, they always use this one. Because that was my character's mood most of the time. Oh, this was Scatman Crothers, he was a lot of fun. And this was the scene before the party and where he walked me down the hallway before the action started.
Yes.
And he was a great guy who was very entertaining, sing. I think he played the ukulele. And he was in Lady Sings the Blues. He played this character named Big Ben. And he one day acted out the whole scene for me, his whole Big Ben scene from Lady Sings the Blues. He was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. That's great.
You know, most of the people there were a lot of fun because we had this great job. And again, I was new. I didn't really know what a big deal it could be, but I think most of the other people did. Everybody was pretty happy. I have to tell you just one more thing, Dustin, is that the high point for me not the high point, but I'm jokingly saying the high point for me in all of this is when one of my friends called me and said, guess where you are? And I said, where? Mad Magazine. When they did the takeoff on it, they called it One Cuckoo Flew Over the Rest. And there I am right there. I don't know if you can see me.
I can.
After I came out, I remember that somebody said that one day in the dining hall, somebody sat down and talked to me and said, that they were from Mad Magazine. But my line is pretty funny. I have to read my first line in this story to you. It says, "I've got a problem. I never talk unless I got something important to say. The last time I spoke was in 1951. So anyway, so that was a lot of fun being in Mad Magazine. That was fun.
That's great.
So that's it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that stuff. That's so cool. You're my first guest to do a presentation of a collection. That's fantastic. Yeah, I love it.
That's because it's all in my home, you know.
That's great. Well, it must be really amazing to, especially now that it's been so many years, to look back on the film and the whole experience. I'm sure it brings a lot of good memories.
It does. It does. I haven't watched it in a while. It's been several years. But every time I do, I tend to appreciate it more. You know, there's more distance from it. So I tend to appreciate it more as an accomplishment that they made this story come to life so well. You know, and I go back to saying I believe that was Miloš's vision and the environment together. It just was real. In fact, Miloš used to always say that. He'd say, keep it real, keep it real. So that's what people did.
Did anyone ever recognize you on the streets or anything after?
You know, for about the first 10 years, people did after. And then after that, people would, if someone said they recognized me and I would say I was in that movie, they'd go, no, wasn't that. But recently, just a couple of years ago, a parent of one of my students came in. This was the first time we saw each other. And he looked at me and he said, I know you. He said, you were in that movie. And he was right. He recognized me 40 something years later from it. And I think it was because he was in show business. So he, had a little bit of an eye for it. But it was, I said, wow. I said, you're the first person in years to recognize me.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like you said, you didn't really think of yourself as an actor and that was your first film, but what an amazing first film and film to be a part of.
Yeah, I act when there's a good director. I look good. I need a strong director. Some actors get offended if a director tries to tell them too much. They want the opportunity to explore and do this. Miloš even gave me a line reading once. And I said, thank you, because, it was his vision and he was right. If there's a strong director and a good environment, I'm an actress.
Well, it must have, even though, like you said, you didn't have that many lines, it must have been amazing to actually, that almost feels like a plus to be able to really just be there and witness what was going on around you. I'm sure you learned so much.
I did. I really did. And everybody was good. There were no duds. Everybody was good. And the production team was really wonderful. And it was a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much for talking with me.
My pleasure, Dustin. My pleasure.
What do you think you are, for Christ's sake? Crazy or something? Well, you're not. You're not. You're no crazier than the average asshole out walking around on the streets, and that's it.
Thank you for watching the Burbank International Film Festival's Real Conversations. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And learn everything you need to know about the festival at burbankfilmfest.org. Before you go, stick around and see other videos we have to offer, like these two. Thank you for watching.